looks like we are good to go. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Narik Chase channel. I'm your boy Narik Chase, and in this
I'm Madam B.
I was going to introduce you after the break.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, my bad, because the first time I didn't say it, so my bad.
Yeah.
Right. So this is another episode of Breaking Debates with...
Madam B. Really? Thanks.
I absolutely don't know what the hell number it is at this point, but we're going to keep going. We do have a plethora of interesting topics that we are going to talk about. Let me go ahead and procure that list from you. We are going to talk about the new Alien film in the works. Doubtful to revisit. Oh, you read it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What is it?
All right, we got a new Alien film. That Ridley Scott, he don't think they're gonna revisit the Prometheus thing. Mission Impossible 7. You might know a little bit more about that. We're gonna talk about a little bit of Black Widow. I'm kind of interested in watching it, and the villain. Ben Affleck is returning for the Flash. We'll discuss a little bit what they got going on with Jurassic World Dominion. A new Arnold Schwarzenegger TV series, Spy Adventure, is supposed to, be coming out, and our Resident Evil Netflix series.
All right, then. That is a lot of interesting topics, specifically the last one. But we're going to get into that bad boy in a second. All right, let's talk about
the
Alien film,
yeah.
of course. When Prometheus was announced, a lot of people were interested. It was supposed to bring the Alien franchise back to formula, despite not actually being connected as a prequel to the Alien franchise, in which case it actually is. But the movie itself was decent enough to actually garner a sequel. However, that sequel was really fucking terrible. Now, the movie Alien Covenant was just a mess all around. Forgettable characters, dumbass writing. The direction was just ass backwards. And one of the best things to come out of Prometheus, they completely just shoved its head in the toilet that somebody just shitted in and didn't even bother flushing. So, and that's the Shaw character, who is probably the most interesting character of Prometheus. And they just completely just shitted on her character in the Alien Covenant, and pretty much the actual decent possible origin story for the aliens by having this dumbass android that nobody likes, that David, create them. So
and that's the story they were going with.
And everybody got pissed, and I don't understand it. Now, I don't usually get behind people when movies when they get bad. Hell, I'm one of the few people that said Rey being Palpatine's granddaughter actually kind of makes sense. Because, again, this whole time, Palpatine isn't just sitting in his throne doing this, looking out over the galaxy. No, the man actually has a social life. He actually does stuff outside of just being his asshole. So it does kind of make... I can buy him having a son, and the son not wanting to follow in his footsteps, and all. I could buy that. But David creating the Xenomorphs was just a fucking joke. And the fact that they couldn't come up with something better than that is just criminal. It's just criminal.
He said, Ridley Scott said that Prometheus and Alien Covenant tried to reinvent the wheel. So whatever
like I said, there's no problem doing that. But if you're going to give one of the most famous sci-fi, horror, and iconic creatures in film history an origin story, a dumbass android that nobody liked ain't the way to go. It would have been much better. They introduced the fact in Prometheus that the Forerunners, or whatever the fuck they were called, that's Halo, whatever they were, the Forerunners, engineers, that's what it would have made more sense because in Prometheus they state that the engineers were trying to kill humans. Wouldn't it make more sense for an Alien Covenant the engineers actually created a biological weapon in the Xenomorphs to do that? They already had the sludge, the same shit David used to create the damn Xenomorphs. That would make sense. So, and then on top of that, David's pretty much the main villain the whole fucking time.
Well, he said, that's not the first time that, people ask him about reworking the franchise. Because he said there's still a lot of mileage in Alien.
It is. The problem is you trying to stick to formula. A lot of that formula is Sigourney Weaver. Stop trying to stick to Sigourney Weaver. I like her. She does great in the first movie. She does great in the second movie. I'm one of the few that like her in the third and fourth movie. But the problem is they keep trying to say the only way, if you have an Alien movie, you have to have a Ripley movie. Unless you have a Ripley movie, if you got a Ripley movie that's no Alien, it's not a good movie. If there's an Alien movie with no Ripley, it's not a good movie. It's like, no. Aliens, if you follow the comics, if you follow the books, they are, and not just the movies, if you're going by the movies kind of make it seem like they were only in like one set spot. And it's like, no. They're other planets and stuff. They're in different spaceships. The Alien franchise stretches over a galaxy. So it would make more sense if these encounters weren't just by one person.
Right.
It's like what I was saying about the Resident Evil. I'm like, not every Resident Evil game needs to have the golden 7 characters. Because it's across the world. It would make more sense and it would actually add horror value to it if you reset it with a new character. Make that character likable, trying to survive a zombie apocalypse. Not some character that's survived a zombie apocalypse and fought fucking BOWs for the last 20 years. It's dumb. So that's the problem with that. And then they had this problem where they had this trope where the female protagonist, there's always got to be a lone female protagonist survivor. They need to stop doing that. I think they did a good job of changing it in Alien Covenant because the Tennessee character, who was actually a really likable character, I'm glad he survived. But they need, if you're gonna reinvent the wheel, do it the right way. They're trying to make everything all philosophical and spiritual and.
Well, if he does do that, he did the show Raised by Wolves, which we were just talking about. So hopefully, but this next Alien film, whatever you think, it'll be good. Because he was like, okay, why would a creature like this be made? Why is it traveling in this kind of the whatever they were traveling in? Why is it carrying all these eggs? I guess he wants to go beyond that or what.
But that's what I'm saying. The engine from the first movie, you saw that this ship was full of eggs. You don't know why. Prometheus gave you a reason why. The engineers wanted to kill humanity using this black goop, the black goop that mutates stuff. You're thinking when you see that, okay, they use this black goop to experiment to create the xenomorphs. In Alien Covenant, you're correct. That black goop was used to experiment to create the aliens. The problem was it wasn't the right person. The engineers should have been the ones who did it. Maybe some asshole engineer thought it was a good idea to do it. Fine. Then, but of course you got this dumbass character that, like I said, he was decent in the first movie. Because he was decent in the first movie. Why he was doing the shit he was doing, I still don't understand why, but decent in Prometheus. The rest of the Alien Covenant, I'm like, come on, really? But,
well, as they get more into it, if he's gonna do it, we'll come back and talk more about it. I'm kind of interested, but then I don't know after Alien Covenant.
But this is my thing. There's 3 storylines they can go with. They could try to fix the Alien prequel series, which I'm like, I'm willing to give them the benefit of a doubt. Fine. They could continue the original Alien series because they were saying that they were going to retcon 3 and Resurrection and pick up with Sigourney Weaver, the guy that played Hicks, the girl that's supposed to be neat, even though she don't act anymore, but somebody else. They're gonna pick up on their story, and then there is the story that's established in the films of Ripley dies, 200 years later she's cloned, and that storyline. So I'm really interested in seeing them work with any one of them. I just want somebody that's a good writer that actually understands not only the series but actual direction and good writing to fix it. Because, like I said, I like Resurrection, but I started noticing some things. The horror element wasn't there. There was no action there either. It was more of a sci-fi movie, but
Right.
and I still don't understand this. How in the hell you on a spaceship with soldiers and there's no action sequences with the alien fighting soldiers? But okay, what's next?
Like I'm gonna say you'll know a little bit more about this one. Mission Impossible 7. It'll be released November 19th, 2021. By Paramount Pictures. Also, I think they said it was, if I'm reading it right, direct sequel, also directed by Macquarie, will be released on November 4th, 2022.
Look, I like the Mission Impossible movies, but they're getting to be like the what you call it, Fast and the Furious.
Mm-hmm.
They might need to slow down with this. It's good. My problem with
it's gonna be shot back to back.
but this is kind of my problem with the Mission Impossible thing. I don't want it to be just Tom Cruise. Like, if you're gonna shoot 7 Mission Impossible movies, have it like the MCU. Have it like, okay, this character is doing his stunts thing, and then this character, and then they team up in one movie, and then there's another character, but it's all in the same universe. And it's like, I like Tom Cruise, and I get it. He's good
okay,
at what.
So maybe you can give me a little rundown of what the film series is about, like, as a whole, because I think I may only watched one.
All of them is basically there's some like terrorist or something just threatening to do something really terrible, and he gets a team together to stop it. The hallmark is Tom Cruise and his stunts, his like insane stunts that he does in Hollywood
I know he's
movies.
gonna have like a motorcycle stunt up in this one.
Which I don't get it. I'm like, if you're gonna have this many Mission Impossible movies, why not bring in, I don't know, Triple X or James Bond or something? In fact, why not do a Triple X crossover with Mission Impossible? They're doing these crazy, insane stunts too. So that would make sense.
I mean, so what do you think about are you like interested?
I'm excited. Like I said, as far as the Mission Impossible series is going, I've actually enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it for the most part.
Well, 7 and 8, so.
Tom Cruise might need to just settle down. Look, I know I want to go parachuting one day, but this man, he like parachute into a plane, then parachute out that plane to another plane, and parachute out another plane to another plane. Like, gosh.
So it's just like a movie of stunts, basically.
Yeah, I mean, they're cool. Like, they're cool. And
I guess that's what keeps it. That's what keeps the series going.
But the thing about it is, the movie ain't just the stunts. The stunts don't make the movie.
Okay,
it's actually
a good story though.
Yeah, like one of the stunts he did in the movie. What was it? Ghost Protocol. He was climbing upside. They actually had somebody, or I don't know if it was him specifically, but they actually had this thing where they were climbing up that, what's the tallest building in the world in
Chrysler
in
Building?
Abu Dhabi, whatever it's called, or
okay.
Agrabah. I don't know what it's
Never
called.
mind. I thought you was gonna say. I said
In the Middle East somewhere.
Never mind. I don't know.
Yeah.
What you're talking about there.
Yeah, they had is either him or a stunt double or something climbing up the side of the building. It was actual shot of them actually doing it. I'm like that was a good stunt. The part where he ran through the sandstorm, that was pretty cool. The motorcycle chase that I really enjoyed from the last movie was pretty cool. So they do a lot of really cool stunts, and I don't mind it. Just sometimes you just like, what at one point this man gonna just give up and just be like, okay, I'm done with the Mission Impossible life. Because it seems like he's done with it in almost every other movie. But like I said, I've enjoyed the action. And there's actually substance behind the movie. So, what's that?
The next one on our list is Black Widow and the villain in her movie.
Taskmaster. Black Widow movie, I'm actually interested in seeing it. Because it's like I was talking to Manuel. Manuel was like he didn't care about Black Widow being in having her own movie. And I'm like, well, did you watch the Avengers movies? He was like, yeah. I'm like, did you have a problem in her in those movies? He was like, not really. I was like, so why would you not want to see her have her own movie? Everybody else has.
Okay, so maybe you'll change your mind, but maybe you might want to calm down a little bit. Black Widow will have a Me Too storyline. The Me Too movement.
No, I understand. I read one of her books.
Okay.
And in the book, she was training this thing called the Red Room, where they took these girls at, and they treated them like you had. It's like a indoctrination spy program where they train you to be a spy from like a certain age up and all that, and it's kind of harsh and all of that. I could kind of see that. I don't want them to focus on it.
Yeah, as long as they throw it in the face.
Yeah. Like, I can get behind that. The Taskmaster, I'm interested in seeing his character.
What is he? Okay, what is his? Okay, I know about him from the Spider-Man game, but what is his main thing?
His thing is, he see you do something, he can copy it.
Oh.
So if you're like fighting, like if you know how to do Wing Chun or something like that, and you fight him, he'll learn it while you're in the middle of the fight.
That's why he said that the Spider-Man in the game. Okay, I'm learning. Good.
So I'm interested in seeing it. I'm glad that they're not going with the dumbass look in the comics. Cause there's literally no reason in the comics that he looked that stupid. He's got a mask that looks like a skull, got a hood with a cape, and a shield and a sword. And I was like, so you fighting I'm like, if you fighting somebody that knows Wing Chun and all of that, you know, how are you going to showcase it when you, with the sword and the shield? It doesn't make sense. And I'm like, in the fact you got this stupid ass skull mask, this white mask on, it just looks dumb. Now, what I seen so far with the little armor suit, I didn't mind it because it was kind of a throwback to the comics, but it looks more realistic wise than what they've been doing with the stuff in the MCU so far. Kind of like with Crossbones, he had kind of an armored up suit, but it was designed similar to what it was in the comics, so I didn't mind that. It just and I'm interested in this because I'm like, well, wait a minute, this Taskmaster, is he gonna fight Black Widow? And if he's fighting Black Widow, wouldn't he really have the upper hand on her? Because not only is he physically, you know, he's a man and, you know, he's got weight, but he's also got the training too. Not only does he got the training, but he's going to be learning how to fight like she does. So,
right.
Is he going to directly fight her? Because I do not want to see her beat him. I don't. I really don't. She better not get in no fight with this dude and she end up beating him. I'll be pissed.
Okay.
Yes. I don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. Like, I like Black Widow. She's actually one of my favorite MCU characters, but I don't want to see her fight somebody that prominent and then she can beat him. I'm like, no, that's no. Hell no.
Okay, this next topic we've, of course talked a lot about the Jurassic World series, well mainly the Jurassic World Dominion, the new one they're gonna have coming out. I've been hearing a little bit about it. Characters, which I don't want to see. They have, of course, Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Jake Johnson, Omar Sy, Daniela Pineda, Justice Smith, Ditchin Lockman, Scott Hayes. But the first, B.D. Wong,
B.D. Wong?
Henry Wu, the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
They got Campbell Scott as Dachshund coming back. So they got all the old ones from way back then coming to the new one. They have I've read about new reptiles, new dinosaurs that just been created or something like that.
Because the Wu character came back, I'm like, okay, I can kind of see new dinosaurs being born because he was over them being created in the new stuff. So I'm like, okay, I can kind of see that. But all of these other characters that came back from the original series, I don't want them back. I don't. No Sam Neill, definitely no Jeff Goldblum, None of the original characters. I don't want to see them back. The problem I have with this freaking franchise is they're sitting here dragging these characters through the damn mud. And it's just like what I said about the Alien franchise. You can't have a Jurassic Park movie seemingly without bringing back some character from the original ones. Mm-hmm. And they're hoping that and watch, when the movie come out, I bet you people are going to complain that these characters had no reason to be in the damn movie.
Or, bring them back just to get killed off.
I hope so. They better die. I'm tired.
Alright, so what do you think? What do you think is gonna... How are they gonna do it? Okay, I think... I'm sorry. I don't know if this one was for the last one, but it was like dinosaurs going open source, resulting in multiple entities around the world being able to create their own dinosaurs for various uses. They said that was for Fallen Kingdom, not Dominion. But
well, in Fallen Kingdom, they did take some. People did buy some of them and take them away, and then they did escape.
Right.
So I can kind of see that.
So is that what you think they're going to go with? They're going to start from there?
This is what I want to happen. I want a virus to get released from the dinosaurs that only affects humans, and it kills humans off. And I want the dinosaur, probably blue, that Velociraptor, to develop human intellect and be able to talk and lead her people to the promised land. Right? Humans, destroy themselves. And if the people didn't catch what the references I'm making, I'm talking about Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Because that's what happened over there. Look, I don't know. Because at this... I don't know what they can go with. I wish I could say I don't know which way they can go with, especially since they're bringing all these characters back.
Now that they're I was reading, and it's now that they're like all over the place. What's his name? Trevorrow, I think one of the directors or whatever. He said that what's very important and what could fall apart is just dinosaurs are everywhere all the time. I think any kind of global acceptance that they're just around doesn't feel real to me, because even now when you think of animals, when was the last time you saw a tiger walking down the street? There are tigers, we know they're out there, but to me it's very important that we keep this grounded in the context of our relationship with wild animals today. I guess Bryce Dallas, whatever her name is, said she wanted the film to blow your minds in terms of being like, whoa, this is where technology can go. This is what the world could really turn into if this technology fell into the wrong hands. So basically seeing a world with dinosaurs everywhere.
No, that's what I said. Like I said, they should do one or two scenarios. They should have it to where either there's a big ass valley somewhere like the Grand Canyon, big huge valley. Put them all in there, because they're not gonna let the animals just run around. Put them in a big ass valley somewhere, or buy a big ass plot of land and build a huge ass fucking wall around it and just dump them on in there. It'll be self-sustaining. It ain't gonna fuck with the ecosystem of other animals. That's what they just need to do. Go get a mountain or something, and then just throw them in the little crevice of the mountain or something. Let them just live there. There's literally I don't understand how else they can go with. You can say, and then another thing is, I'm like, well, it's not gonna be there running everywhere.
Well, you can't just
because they
live in a world with just dinosaurs. It's like you go down the street, it's a dinosaur.
No, I mean, like, they're talking is living in a world with dinosaurs. Like, no fucking ain't. They got released to North America. What are they gonna do? Swim across the ocean? And it's not like they can't. The dinosaurs. It's not like they can't just route. Like when all them dinosaurs got released that night, there's no fucking way those dinosaurs should have been not all rounded up within a week. I don't see how they couldn't. I just don't see how they couldn't have. They could have called the Coast Guard, the National Guard. Within a week, all of those things should have been rounded up. So, I don't know. I don't know where they're gonna go with it. I don't know. I don't know if y'all know this. I don't know if y'all watched the review on it. I did not like Fallen Kingdom. I thought Fallen Kingdom was garbage, even though the first part of it was pretty cool. But it was just the execution of it, and yes, the ending left this whole thing where dinosaurs are going to be fucking everywhere. Like the big one, that was in the water. Now, if they can't find that one, I can kind of understand. Because it's out in the ocean, you know.
Well, you know, it's not going to be... I mean, people are going to want to see it for the dinosaurs and see what kind of stuff they come up with. They're also Owen and Claire. They're going to talk about, I guess, them getting together, getting back together. I don't know what kind of relationship they're in. And they're taking care of the girl, the clone girl. So we'll see some development with that, I hope.
I hope that they ain't in no thing where they broke up. Like, no, come on now. Y'all had 2 movies to get this right.
It's starting to be where it's just... And then, Terrell said, have a dinosaur movie that I've always wanted to see, and it took 2 movies to earn it. So I guess this is going to be his dream dinosaur film. And as for the characters, Laura Dern, as Ellie Sadler said, if there's going to be a live movie, she want to be in it. So they put her in it. They're going to be appearing throughout the film.
If she's in it, I could kind of understand, because at one point she was over at the park taking care of it. So if they had her to kind of oversee the roundup of the things, okay, it makes sense to have her. The Owen character, the Owen character, he's hunted, he's dealt with the dinosaurs before. It makes sense for him to come back. Everybody else now.
Okay. So, and then the other characters, I guess they just bringing them back because people said they know and love these characters.
And that's the reason why. And when we watch the movie, we're all gonna be like, why the fuck were these characters in this movie? Sam Neill too old to fucking run.
They said he had to get in physical shape to prepare for the role, which would include running.
They're gonna do all of these shit. Watch this movie. It's gonna be so many throwbacks to their other ones. You're gonna be like, all right. There's always gonna be a sequence where they're running and there's a bunch of dinosaurs running around them. I bet you're gonna have that scene.
Probably. Oh, okay. So the dude, I'm sorry I shouldn't say this, but it's right here. The dude who played Lewis Dodson in the first one.
Who is Lewis Dodson?
You know, from the one sitting at the table, the fat man, Dodson. We got Dodson here.
The one that got 8?
No, the fat dude got 8. Yeah, the one who was sitting at the table who gave him the money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they said it was originally played by Campbell Scott. No, it was originally played by Cameron Thor. They're gonna reprise the role with Campbell Scott because Thor is spending 6 years in state prison. I'm not gonna say what for. You can go and see that for yourself. But yeah,
we're trying to steal dinosaur secrets and stuff.
No, it is something
corporate.
Something much worse. That's why I don't want to say it.
Corporate, what you call it? Espionage.
And the budget for this film was $200 million.
They're gonna get their money back. They're gonna get it back.
Because people want to see it just that badly. Of course, I'm pretty sure they'll get it back. I just want it to be a good movie. Yeah, dinosaurs all over the place.
You know what? I don't want to see no damn kids. I don't want to see no kids going on their little misadventures.
Well, the Maisie character's gonna be maybe she's a teenager by now, or no, maybe not.
Oh, let me guess. The black chick from the second one gonna be there too?
I don't know.
Julianne Moore, she gonna be there too? Vince Vaughn?
I mean, I kind of hope this is the last film, but they talking about future films could explore the idea of dinosaurs and humans coexisting.
I'm done. Anyways, they ain't talking about Dominion no more.
Okay, so anyway, as we get back more into it, we'll come back on. Um, let's just talk about your Resident Evil Netflix series.
Let's jump on that now. I believe I did a video about this, how they could establish a good Resident Evil television series, if not directly everything and stuff derived from the video games, but at least taking liberties, but being greatly inspired from the video games. Now, one of the things that I can say I did like about the movies is they definitely feel like they've taken inspiration from the games, despite how crappy the writing is. But I would like the series to be a bit more have a little bit more nuance when it comes to it. Now, if you're going to go directly from the games, I would not mind seeing the video games play out. I mean, the series to play out much like the video games. Have perhaps the first, you know what? I would not mind seeing the first season play out in the first 3 games. Or
you mean the first 3 games play out in the first season?
Yeah. You can have, or hear me out on this, or for those who don't know, have maybe the first game play out as the first season, but it's gonna be hard to make.
And it will be live action.
Yeah.
So are they gonna get some of the old characters from the Resident Evil series to come into the TV series? You think?
No, this is what they should do. I mean, yeah, if they're gonna derive it directly from the games, maybe have the first season be them in the house. My thing is about that is it's in the freaking house. It's like how many episodes can you have them shuffling around this house trying to figure out what's going on? 8?
8 hour long episodes.
Okay. Well, fine. Okay. Well, I guess I could deal with that.
I mean, if they, I think they could do good in 8 and see if they can go with another season.
No, because this is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I do want them to do that. I do want them to do a season with them in the house. Flesh out the characters, because one of the problems with the Resident Evil game is if you're following each character, you don't really see what the other characters are doing. What happened? Okay, the series is described as a brand new story spread across 2 different timelines. In the first timeline, 14-year-old sisters Jade and Billy Wesker are moved to New Raccoon City, a manufactured corporate town forced on them right as adolescence is in full swing. But the more time they spend there, the more they kind of realize that the time is more than it seems, and their father may be considered dark secrets. Secrets, most parents do. Secrets that could destroy the world. Most parents do. Cut to the second timeline, well over a decade into the future, there are less than 15 million people left on Earth and more than 6 billion monsters, people and animals infected with the T-virus. Jade, now 13, struggles to survive in this new world while the secrets from her past about her sister, her father, herself continue to haunt her. Interesting premise. And if I had another laptop, I'd throw this against the damn wall. Okay, let me stop. I think it's interesting that they are going to play with this. Now, my question is this going to go with the movies, or is it go? Okay, it said it's an original story.
Okay, first question before you get into that. How do you feel about it being...
There's that many monsters?
How do you feel about it being, like Wesker's, you gotta know...
Ain't got nothing to do with Wesker. I mean, it's got his name. In the Resident Evil games, you kind of find out that Wesker isn't the only Wesker.
Okay. Answer my question. Go ahead.
Yeah, he was kind of... You remember I was telling you about Black Widow, and she was kind of in this program for kids that kind of been... He's kind of like that.
Okay.
They're kind of like that. It's an interesting plot. It's an interesting premise. I'm worried about the fact that it's going to be so big that they're not going to be able to rein it in when they need to, because you're going from...
Could they do it in 8 episodes?
8 episodes, I can kind of see it. But I'm just worried because it's like you're going from 0 to 100 fast. It's not like she's saying that the future storyline is the city's overrun. Mm-hmm. She's saying the world is overrun at this point.
Right.
So that's kind of a huge leap from how it started to how everything else, you know what I'm saying?
Well, how the movie ended or the game ended?
No, that's wrong with that.
Okay, so this has nothing to do with this. Is just original. Okay.
So that's what's got me worried. I'm like, okay, this is before everything happens. This is years after it happens. But I'm like, it'd be different if it was a couple of weeks after the infection broke out in the city, and then the city's kind of overrun, and you can see that story build up. But they said the world. And I'm like, okay, so how are we going to establish how all of this shit happened in 8 episodes?
Well, that's what I just said. I said, could they do it in 8 episodes? He was like, yeah.
I mean, no, it's kind of hard to say because you're going to have a story telling what could potentially build up to it. Mm-hmm. Fine. But you also got this story where after this happened, and it's a long time after it's happened. So, what is it? Wesker got his wish and he blew up the virus in the atmosphere, and then like half the world got infected. That's what the plot of 5 was. He was trying to do that. So
by now it reached everywhere. So it's everywhere.
I guess so, but I need to know how. I don't want it to. What did they do that? Was it birds? I don't freaking know. And then I'm like, well, how are these monsters come about? Because these monsters don't reproduce. From what we see, we don't really see them reproduce.
I didn't realize there were that many.
That goes back to what I was saying. Like, these monsters, for the most part, are created.
When they say monsters, they don't mean zombies.
They're talking about the hunters. They're talking about the lickers. They're talking about tyrants. They're talking about all of this, like all of this.
So what else has been created?
And that's what I'm like. I mean, I guess some do reproduce. The Las Plagas do.
Okay.
Or the Las Plagas.
Well, they said people and animals, so.
I mean the animals, but I'm like, okay.
Animals can.
I don't know. Personally, it was weird. You got some animals that's turning into zombie animals. You got some that turn into ferocious monsters. You got some people they turn into zombies.
Well, maybe
you got some that turn into
version of a mutated animal or something.
But the thing about it is, they got different types of strains, which do different types of things. The T virus, when it mutated people and stuff, it was more like an aquatic type creatures, like fish and sharks and stuff like that, crabs and stuff like that. Like, I'm interested, but I'm also kind of worried, especially because it's an original story. I'm not against original stories, but they gotta be good. And like I said, it'd be different if basically is this. Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil movie, Resident Evil Extinction. There's no, so it's like, how are you going to bridge that? It'd be different if it was Resident Evil Apocalypse, because that's after it got loose in the city. Right. But it's like, no, they went straight to Extinction, which is when it went across the world. So, I'm interested.
Okay, so there was like a manufactured corporate town. So, like, where you have like curfews and
manufactured corporate town is basically when the corporation builds everything surrounding them. So if they have like a laboratory or something, like a lab or a research facility, they will build a town to house their employees that work there. Move your families there and stuff like that.
So are they going to show like how they came to be, how they moved into? Okay. Just like.
I'm not going to ask the question about are the stars of the series going to show up, because I don't really want them to show up at this point, because they're going to be different, and I don't want them to be put into the. Look, I'm not against the different incarnations of characters, but if it's going to be an original story,
right,
we don't need those characters.
Another Walking Dead.
We don't need those characters. So I'm interested in the Resident Evil. It was an interesting concept, but I didn't know they were going that direction. But okay, I'm good with that. I can deal with that. I hope they do it right. That is all we talked about. Some crap today. For the most part, is just really interested in seeing what they're going to do with the Resident Evil television series. And I'm actually wanting to see Black Widow too. I'm not buying Disney Plus, and I'm sure as hell ain't paying $30 to see it. But you know what I'm saying? I'm interested in seeing. I'm interested in Mission Impossible 7. So there was a lot of interesting topics that we did go over today. So hopefully you guys got a bit more insight because a lot of stuff that I didn't know I'm learning as well. So anyways, in the comment section below, guys, be sure to let us know what your thoughts are about what's coming out, what's going on, and what you're. And be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on this channel. And we'll definitely catch you guys later.